Contestant number 4, John Barry. The icebreaker that wasn't. The icebreaker that wasn't, John Barry.
Venom Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Several years ago, I took a business trip to Southern California. We flew into the John Wayne Airport in Orange County. I thought, what a great opportunity to visit Toastmasters headquarters, which is located in Mission Viejo. Now, Mission Viejo was the world's first planned community. I remember when they built it back in the 70s, they had just the right amount of houses, the right amount of apartments and shopping centers and churches. The one thing they didn't account for was the influx of Starbucks coffee shops. There is a Starbucks coffee shop on every corner. And as I walked down Main Street, I saw everybody outside the coffee shops, tapping away on their laptops and scrolling on their iPads. And I thought, boy, there's a lot of nerds in this town. I haven't seen this many nerds since my last Toastmasters conference. And then as I kept walking down Main Street, I saw a sign that said, "Welcome to Mission Viejo, America's safest city." Now, Mission Viejo has the lowest crime rate in the country for the last 6 years. In fact, I can understand that because it's a very affluent community. Nobody has a reason to steal from anybody else, except maybe the local banker. In fact, it's so safe that they don't even have a police force. They only have one officer, Officer Chad. And Officer Chad doesn't carry a revolver, he carries an iPod. And he's been known to say, "Don't make me Google you." And then a kid answered, "Don't Google me, bro, don't Google me, bro." But as I was walking down the street, suddenly a car pulled up. Beep, beep. And I looked over, it was Officer Chad. He was driving a Prius, an electric police car. And Officer Chad got out and he walked up to me and he said, "You're new in town, aren't you?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'm here to visit Toastmasters." And he said, "Well, let me give you some advice. If I were you, I would get off the streets at sundown. When the sun goes down, the streets turn mean in Mission Viejo." And I said, "But Chad, the sign says Mission Viejo is America's safest city." And he said, "Well, see that Starbucks over there? About 9 o'clock at night, they pour out of that Starbucks on a caffeine high. On the other side of the square, they pull out of Baskin Robbins on a sugar high. When caffeine meets sugar, there's trouble. Starts with a T, ends with an L, it spells trouble, right here in Mission Viejo." I said, "I think trouble ends with an E." He said, "Never mind that." They meet in the center of the town square, and then the fights start. Scissor fights. And I said, "Scissor fights at Mission Viejo?" And he goes, "Yeah, rocks, paper, scissors. Rocks, paper, scissors." All night long they go at it. And so I continued on my journey down Main Street until I came to a glass and brick building, and it said International Headquarters on top. And I thought, oh, this must be Toastmasters. I found out later it was the headquarters for the U.S. Olympic Diving Academy. But I thought I was going into Toastmasters. And I walked up to the reception desk and I said, "I'm a member of the organization. Is there a chance I could get a survey of the facility?" And he said, "Sure, we'll take you on a tour." And he said, "As long as you're a member, would you like to perform while you're here?" And I thought, well, every good Toastmaster should have a speech in their hip pocket. So I said, "I could do something." And he said, "Well, what can you do?" And I said, "Well, I could do an icebreaker." And he said, "An icebreaker? The icebreaker was banned in California 10 years ago. Too many people would freeze right in the middle and crash and burn right in front of us." And I said, "It's going to happen. It happens in the Midwest too. We're going to lose a few along the way." But in the Midwest, we encourage people to get up and dust themselves off and get right back up there and do it again. And he said, "Well, would you do it from the 3-meter or the 5-meter platform?" And he looked over his shoulder towards the swimming pool. And I thought, only in California would they have a Toastmaster meeting around a swimming pool. And I thought, the 5 meter didn't look that much higher than the 3 meter, so I said, I'll do it from the 5 meter platform. And he said, would you mind if I call the staff out? Attention all staff, there's a fellow from the Midwest who's going to attempt an icebreaker from the 5 meter platform. Suddenly all the doors open and closed and people came rushing out of their offices and they all gathered around the swimming pool and they were all carrying a Starbucks. They were all carrying a Starbucks. And as I started to climb the ladder, they began to chant, icebreaker, icebreaker. You can chant along with me. Icebreaker, 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 icebreaker. When I got to the top, I looked down and it felt like I was standing on the top of the Eiffel Tower. And I thought my knees turned to rubber and started to shake. And I thought, oh my. I had to push each leg forward one step at a time till I got to the edge. They were expecting a performance and I didn't want to disappoint them. So I took a deep breath and I began. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, yes. My name is John Berry and I'm a Toastmaster from the Midwest. Suddenly, boo, bang, ah! And I thought, what a tough audience. I had just gotten started. To make a long story short, I found out later they thought I was going to jump off the platform into the pool. That ain't going to happen. I don't even know how to swim. And going up that ladder was a lot easier than going down. They had to call the fire department to come and get me. The moral of my story is when you give a presentation, know your audience. Well, that's my story of my California icebreaker. The icebreaker that wasn't. Very